great for rising. You know, it's amazing how you have these people who are in leadership positions who are really not leaders, even though they're leading, who has this playground mentality. I'm supposed to tell you who your friends could be. I'm supposed to tell you who you can talk to. I'm supposed to tell you who you shouldn't talk to. I want you to listen to this when the late Nelson Mandela, President Nelson Mandela from South Africa, was asked a question. Listen to his answer, and I'll be back.
Let us move on to our next questioner at the microphone over there. Mr. Adelman.
Welcome to America, Mr. Mandela. I'm Ken Adelman. Those of us who share your struggle for human rights and against apartheid have been somewhat disappointed by the models of human rights that you have held up since being released in jail. You've met over the last 6 months 3 times with Yasser Arafat, who you have praised. You have told Gaddafi that you share the view on, and applaud him on his record of human rights and his drive for freedom and peace around the world. And you have praised Fidel Castro as a leader of human rights and said that Cuba was one of the countries that's head and shoulders above all other countries in human rights, despite the fact that documents at the United Nations and elsewhere show that Cuba is one of the worst. I was just wondering, are these your models of leaders of human rights? And if so, would you want a Gaddafi or an Arafat or a Castro to be a future president of South Africa?
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies.
So you see, the American diplomat wanted to, I guess, call President Mandela on the carpet because of his support. Well, I don't know if he said he supported him, but he didn't talk against him. And he did say he admired, I guess you would say, some of their policies and the way they handle certain things. But this guy, the American diplomat, on what I call the world stage, want to take President Nelson Mandela to task. He's going to do that 2 or 3-year-old, you can't talk to them if you want to talk to me. I don't like them, so you shouldn't like them. So let's take a lesson from President Nelson Mandela. First of all, let me say this. The United States is in no position whatsoever to try to pass moral judgment on anybody. Now, if you look at the screen, you will see a list of some of the countries that the United States has bombed. And later I'll take more time and go into why they say they bombed them. And I'm also going to point out why I think they were bombed. So don't let your enemy choose your friends. Just because you don't like somebody, or just because they don't bow to your wishes, or whatever it is, that don't mean I got to not like them. I don't have to not like them. And kudos to President Nelson Mandela for standing on his principles, standing on what he believes in, and standing on the fact that he's a grown man. I'm a grown man, is what I'm hearing him say. You don't get to tell me who my friends are. You don't get to tell me who my enemies are. And then you may not even be friends with these men. You don't have to be friends with somebody to admire some of the things they do. So let's man up like President Nelson Mandela did and say, just because they're your enemy, don't mean they have to be mine. American diplomat, you came at President Nelson Mandela from a kindergarten level. Why did you do it? I'm Lily Bell. I'm trying to create a dialogue. And I ask you to keep on churning till the butter comes and deal with it. Be encouraged. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Support our youth in any way you can. Keep on churning till the butter comes. Albert C. Richardson, a black man, patent the butter churn U.S. patent number 446470, February 17th, 1891. I'm Lily Bell. I'm just trying to create a dialogue. I leave you with this. If they close my book, you remember my story. A Nat Turner Runner production. Lock and load. Billy Bear. Be encouraged.